You're fully aware of what needs to be done, yet something keeps you from acting. The minutes tick by, the days fade away, and that one task remains untouched. But consider this, perhaps the issue isn't a lack of motivation, it's the way you think about action itself. In just a few moments, I'll share with you a mindset shift so powerful it can compel you to move forward, even on days when your energy is low and your willpower is depleted. Because if this mental barrier isn't removed now, you'll continue to witness your potential slip away unnoticed. A common myth about success suggests that one must first feel inspired in order to act. This idea is not only misleading, it's dangerous. The truth is, success doesn't come to those who wait for a perfect emotional state. It belongs to those who create the habit of taking action in spite of how they feel. The principle is straightforward. Movement generates motivation, not the other way around. Waiting for motivation is a trap, a comforting illusion that delays progress. Many stall their dreams while waiting for the right time or that wave of inspiration. But inspiration is often the result of action, not its origin. Those who achieve their ambitions understand this truth deeply. They don't wait for clarity, they act. And through action, clarity emerges. Each move forward peels away the layers of uncertainty. By stepping into motion, they discover options and answers that would never have appeared while sitting still. Consider the story of a young man chasing financial success. He read every book, made meticulous plans, and imagined every possible scenario. But no matter how much he prepared, he couldn't move past his inertia. He thought inspiration would eventually strike and give him the courage to begin. But courage is not born from thought. It's a product of movement. Confidence isn't a prerequisite. It's a reward earned through doing. You cannot mentally will yourself into success. You have to take action to get there. History is filled with people who pushed forward despite not knowing what lay ahead. Thomas Edison didn't wait to feel perfectly prepared before creating the light bulb. He failed repeatedly, learning from each attempt. Henry Ford didn't wait for validation before launching into the automobile industry. He believed in his mission and acted with certainty. What made them exceptional wasn't magical motivation. It was their refusal to be paralyzed by the absence of it. When you act, you engage directly with reality. You learn what works and what doesn't. You gather experience that mental planning alone can never provide. Meanwhile, those who wait stay stuck, entangled in thoughts and what-ifs. The hardest moment is always the beginning. That first step feels like moving a mountain, but once taken, momentum takes hold. Your mind begins to reward you with sharper focus and renewed energy. What once seemed insurmountable becomes attainable. Imagine a hesitant salesman staring at his phone, dreading the first cold call. Fear paralyzes him, but when he finally forces himself to dial the number, something shifts. The fear diminishes, and with every call, his confidence builds. He didn't wait to feel brave. He acted, and bravery came after. This principle applies to everyone: the entrepreneur with no guarantee of success, the author facing a blank page, the speaker stepping onto the stage with a racing heart. They moved forward not because they felt ready, but because they refused to let hesitation control them. Success isn't illuminated by bursts of motivation. It's carved into reality through consistent, determined action. Those who grasp this concept understand one powerful truth: waiting is a thief of dreams. Progress belongs to those already in motion. Motivation doesn't lead, it follows. Fear is the silent assassin of progress. It lurks in the background of every bold pursuit, whispering uncertainty into our thoughts. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? It plants hesitation where confidence should grow. But here's the truth: fear is deceptive. Most of what you fear never actually occurs. And if it does, it's rarely as catastrophic as your mind imagines. Failure is not an end. It's a teacher. Every successful person you admire has encountered failure more times than they can count. The difference is that they refuse to surrender to fear. They push through discomfort, understanding that real growth comes not from sitting in contemplation, but from moving forward in spite of doubt. That initial step, while you're still scared, is the most pivotal. It's what separates those who accomplish from those who only imagine. Fear loses its grip when you move toward it. It thrives in the shadows of uncertainty and grows stronger the longer you hesitate. But the moment you take bold, even imperfect action, fear begins to weaken. Because courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to act regardless of it. Ask yourself, what is the worst-case scenario? Chances are you could survive it. Humans are far more resilient than they often give themselves credit for. Most failures can be recovered from, most mistakes can be corrected, and even in worst-case outcomes, the experience becomes fuel for future success. Fear grows when you delay. It partners with procrastination, convincing you that waiting is safer, but the mind exaggerates imagined outcomes. It builds towering walls that appear impossible to climb. However, when you finally take that first step, when you begin to scale the wall, you realize it wasn't as tall as it seemed. Take Edwin C. Barnes, a man determined to partner with Thomas Edison. He had no money, no special contacts, just an unwavering dream. He didn't let fear stop him. He hopped on a freight train, arrived unannounced at Edison's office, and boldly expressed his intent. Though initially given a menial job, Barnes held tight to his vision. When the moment came, he was ready, and he seized it, ultimately becoming a vital part of Edison's team. His story proves a simple truth. Fear dissolves when met with decisive action. So how do you overcome fear? You confront it directly. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Begin now. Break your goal into smaller steps and take them one at a time. Each act of movement reduces fear's control. Face it again and again until it shrinks into something manageable. Remember, fear only has power if you surrender to it. The greatest obstacle to progress is not failure, but the refusal to begin. The decision is yours. Will you let fear write your story, or will you take the pen and forge your own path? Choose boldly. Choose motion. Choose transformation. How often have you whispered, "I'll start tomorrow"? How many of those tomorrows slipped into weeks, months, even years? Before you know it, time has vanished, and all that remains are half-formed plans and unrealized dreams. Here's the truth. The flawless moment you're waiting for doesn't exist. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll take back control of your life. Procrastination is a thief wearing a friendly disguise. It calls itself planning, perfectionism, or preparation, but its true identity is inaction. We tell ourselves we need more time, more research, more confidence, but the more we delay, the more we reinforce the habit of standing still. The only antidote is immediate action, even if it's imperfect, even if it's small. One small, imperfect step is more valuable than 1,000 flawless intentions. Try the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself you'll just work for 5 minutes. That's it. No pressure. Just begin. More often than not, you'll find yourself continuing beyond the 5-minute mark. That initial spark ignites momentum, and momentum transforms stillness into movement. Discipline is the cornerstone here. We live in a world of constant distraction, social media, endless content, notifications demanding your attention. If you don't control your environment will control you. Create clear boundaries. Break large goals into manageable tasks. Focus on consistency, not perfection. The cumulative power of small, regular actions is immense. It's not about massive effort once in a while. It's about showing up daily, regardless of mood. Accountability helps too. Share your goals with someone. Keep track of your progress. Write them down. When you commit to yourself and others, you create pressure that makes quitting harder. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't always skill. It's the discipline to take action even when it's inconvenient. Time is your most precious asset. Every second you delay is a second lost forever. Your future is being sculpted by what you do or don't do right now. Will you keep waiting, or will you take control today? There are no promises about tomorrow. The only real moment you have is this one. So stop overthinking. Stop endlessly preparing. Take the first step, however messy, because movement, no matter how small, will always outpace hesitation. Discipline is not about self-punishment. It's about preparing yourself to win. It's a mindset, a personal standard of excellence, a deep belief in your ability to endure and overcome. Every time you show up for yourself, you strengthen the trust you have in your own word. That trust becomes confidence, and confidence paves the road to achievement. Discipline isn't about misery. It's about creating routines and habits that align with your goals. The first time you step into discomfort, your mind resists. It wants ease. It wants safety. But if you persist, if you keep going despite the discomfort, you begin to reshape your inner landscape. Over time, challenges that once felt impossible become your new normal. You build mental strength. Obstacles stop being barriers and start becoming stepping stones. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. Relying on motivation is risky. It's temporary and unreliable. Discipline is not based on mood. It's a deliberate choice. When the alarm rings, you rise. When work calls, you answer. When difficulty strikes, you stand tall. This ability to take action without negotiation is what divides those who grow from those who remain stuck. Success isn't a product of bursts of inspiration, it's born from unwavering consistency. Anyone can be motivated briefly, but what happens when that excitement fades? That's when discipline becomes your ally. The winners are those who remain consistent long after the initial thrill is gone. Greatness is not about talent, it's about tenacity. Those who succeed are not always the most brilliant or the most gifted. They're simply the ones who refuse to quit. They keep going when it's hard, when no one is watching, when no one claps. Discipline is a muscle. Use it and it will grow. Start small. Keep promises to yourself. Wake up when you said you would. Follow through even when it's inconvenient. Over time, these habits build a foundation of integrity. And once you know you can rely on yourself, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. The biggest rewards are given to those who persevere long after the excitement has faded. Starting is easy, finishing is rare.